what you hear right there, tornado sirens are now blaring over Oklahoma City as, well, tornado warning is now working its way toward the city. In fact, we really just over the last 4 or 5 minutes, we've seen multiple tornado warnings begin to pop up. Also, live look, once again, Oklahoma City, a much different perspective. Good thing now we're seeing any people out as we did not that long ago, but you can see the heavy rainfall, multiple lightning flashes in the background, and obviously keeping an eye on the multiple tornado warnings that are really up and down Oklahoma at this time. It is just amazing to see how quickly these things turn from severe thunderstorms to now these multiple tornado warnings. So Carl Parker is here to talk more about this. We have one more look here at Norman, Oklahoma. And once again, all the lightning flashes in the distance there, and these storms quickly approaching your way, not only along I-40, but looks like I-35 is going to be hit hard up and down Oklahoma with all these storms. So, Carl, it's amazing when we're talking about these storms too. It's amazing how fast some of these the line is moving compared to others, and that's where these little kinks in these storms begin to pop up, and that's why we have multiple tornado warnings.
Yeah, a whole slew of tornado warnings right now, and many of those in the Oklahoma City metro area. So let's begin with the one that does include downtown Oklahoma City. That's Canadian, Cleveland, Oklahoma counties under warning right now. And so we've been watching a little spin here that was on track to move to the northwest of Oklahoma City. So it's right in here. You can follow that area of spin as it moved up across I-40. We got a report of a tornado right along I-40, and then continues to move to the north. Not quite as well formed on radar right now, but let's just go ahead and track that forward. That's going to come up towards the village. And another thing that we can do is we can see if there's any evidence of debris at this time. I'm not seeing any clear-cut evidence of debris, nor did I see any in there. But we did get a report of a tornado, as I mentioned, coming right across I-40. But that is well west of downtown Oklahoma City. So at least for the time being, we do not appear to have a threat of a tornado in downtown Oklahoma City. Then Canadian and Oklahoma counties under warning until 10 p.m. We're looking at the cell that is near Piedmont right now. Not seeing anything that really jumps out in the velocity data, but if there was something, it would be on the southwest edge of that cell, which appears to be weakening. That's coming towards Piedmont right now. And then to the south of town, we've got a warning for Cleveland, McLean, and Oklahoma County until 10 p.m. And looking at the velocity data here, oh, wow, that is actually troubling right there. That's a pretty strong signature. That is near Norman right there. In areas just south of Norman and near Noble. I'm going to go back a couple of scans to see where that's headed. And that looks like it's moving pretty much northeast. So on that path, that's going to take it into the Franklin area. Looks like just south of Norman, but very, very close. Then into the Franklin area, and then into Stella as well. Here too, let's circle this and see if we're seeing any debris. At this time, I'm not seeing a debris signature right now, but we are seeing a pretty strong area of rotation just south of Norman. This is an area, by the way, that does tend to see more tornadoes. There's a topographic element to this, in addition, to Oklahoma just being one of those places where tornadoes are much more likely to form. There's also some topography that comes into play on the south side of the metro. So heads up there in Franklin, you've got a possible tornado coming your way, and that is just south of Norman. Then, as we get into the northern part of the state, we've got a bunch of warnings here as well. Tornado warning in effect here for Garfield and Kingfisher and Major counties, and we're just looking at a large sort of S-curve in here, so that looks to be more of a damaging wind threat at this time. I'm not seeing anything that really stands out. I'll just go ahead and track the whole area out just to be safe. That coming towards Wacomas. Then as we go farther north, Garfield, Grant, and Kay counties under warning until 9:45. Got a little bit of a dog leg sitting right in there. And so some rotation there that appears to be weakening, at least for the time being. That coming towards Salt Fork and Lamont. Then as we go farther north up into Grant, got a tornado warning here and an extension farther northeast. And that extension is for Grant and Kay counties until 10 p.m. And so there, we've got a pretty strong rotation showing up. You can see very clearly that bright area as it's moving forward here to the north. near Medford and also Deer Creek. I'm going to go back a couple of frames so we can try to see which way it's moving. Looks to be maybe just a little south of northeast. And so on that path, looks like it's going to be in mostly rural areas for a while until it gets to Bremen, about 9:48 or so. There's a brand new scan. Let's see what it looks like now. That is a pretty strong rotation showing up there. That's a pretty vigorous rotation. In fact, let's look and see what some of the velocities are within that. And for some reason, that's not showing up. Oh, there we go, 83 miles per hour. I want to get right there. Yeah, 83 miles per hour. So yeah, there's definitely a strong rotation there. So heads up, that's going to be moving north of Route 11 and then coming across 35 and towards the Bremen area in the longer term. Also got some stronger storms into North Texas right now. And then I want to take you up into southern parts of Kansas, where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning west of Wichita. Considerable threat tag with this storm west of Wichita for the possibility of 70 mile per hour wind. And so if we look at the velocity data here, we very clearly see the leading edge of that strong wind, and that is going to be headed towards Wichita. So I'm almost certain that we're going to have a continued warning into the Wichita area, and that would be coming into Wichita at about 9:41. So we've got some strong wind coming your way. So damaging wind threat, tornado threat, large hail threat. There's your damaging wind threat, 75 miles per hour or greater. We're watching a very powerful system, a big swirl in the atmosphere coming through. A very narrow tongue of instability. This is important because this means, because it is a narrow tongue, that as the storms move farther and farther east, they're going to be getting away from a lot of that instability. They're still going to have some, and because the atmosphere is so dynamic, even low top storms will be capable of producing strong wind. But that's a good thing that we're going to run out of gas in terms of instability here. But you've got exceptionally strong winds and 10,000 feet, 70 to 80 to 90 miles per hour. And that's a huge part of what is driving this severe threat. And then also low level wind shear, winds coming out of different directions from the surface to 5,000 feet. And a lot more quickly at 5,000 feet. And that's what's giving us the low level spin that can produce tornadoes. So